Sahajatma Swarup Param Guru. Here and there, far and away, in various corners of the world, Kartiki Purnima is being celebrated by young and old alike. All seekers are indeed lucky, as the seeds of spiritualism sown these days would definitely flourish in future and bear fruits. Let us wish and pray Almighty to help us all in every step of the way in this glorious journey of liberation. As very rightly said by Param Krupaldev Shrimad Rajchandra himself, that religion is not a private property of anybody. It belongs to one who imbibes it. Everyone can attain salvation. Shrimad Rajchandra, Param Krupaldev, as he is known as, attained the highest experience of self and supreme self-enlightenment in a short span of hardly 3 decades during this life. Many of his close associates knew and experienced his miraculous powers pertaining to observational skill, amazing photographic memory, astrology, poetic skill, as also good oratory acumen. He would read once, see once, listen only once, and recollect the finest details of the subject matter at depth with perfection. Similarly, the memory of previous birth, that too at the tender age of only 7, known as Jati Smran Gnan or Jati Smruti Gnan, he attained at a time when he had not even joined the school. A person, his neighbor, died and was taken away for the last rites, and the incidents ignited thorough thought process as to what is death and what is birth, and what goes out of body when one dies. He got enlightened and realized that the thing which goes out is imperishable self, the soul itself, and once purified, it is nothing but a Lord or a God. The soul, when leaves the body, while clinging to attachment for the external objects and desires, and also in getting attached to the new body that it obtains, it does not attain the knowledge of previous birth. Such souls do not even recollect the earlier states of the present birth too. One who behaves otherwise can bring forth the experience of previous life. With this thought process, he recollected most blissful memories of spiritual journey with Lord Mahavir when he was his last disciple. He had been very vastly read person with superhuman memory. He read Ramayana, Mahabharata, and many religious scriptures of Jainism at very tender age. One such very pertinent scripture, Srigadang Sutra, he read 2000 times at this tender age. He would write articles on spiritual matters with wisdom of a highly learned scholar, and such articles used to get wide acceptance and acclaim when he was hardly 11 years old. At the age of around 12, he wrote Pushpamala, a compilation of 108 points of valuable sermons, which, if imbibed with discipline, can make the life blissful to attain the ultimate truth and everlasting bliss. Regarding Moksha Mala, as he himself mentioned that he had composed the same within 3 days at the age of 16 years and 5 months. This amounts to writing nearly 6,000 verses or slokas as envisaged by spiritual pandits and Sanskrit scholars. As there was delay in printing it, Bhavana Bodh was therefore composed and given as a gift to the customers who had enrolled themselves in advance in order to overcome the impatience, a gesture only experienced and matured elder with generous mind and broad heart can exhibit. During this time, he also composed Nami Rajarshi Charitra, amounting 5,000 verses or slokas. He saw Avdhan once at a very young age and performed similar Avdhan the next day. In Avdhan, one remembers stores and then solves the riddles asked by spectators. Herein, one performs numerous activities simultaneously. In fact, it is amazing that he performed Avdhan at a young age of less than 10 years, and testimony to this is none other than a renowned magistrate and religious scholar, Sri Darshibhai of Rajkot, Gujarat, India. He could memorize 500 verses within an hour at a very young age when he performed 52 Avdhan. And subsequently, this memory increased exponentially as he performed Shatavdhan, wherein he carried out 100 such activities in Mumbai in December 1886 in public in a big hall in presence of Chief Justice of Mumbai High Court and many industrialists and learned peoples with big name and fame. Hearing this astonishing feat, he answered questions asked to him in 16 different languages of the world, names of some of the languages he had not even heard of during this life. He answered several queries in poetic form as per the demands of spectator. As time passed, he could perceive the knowledge of thousands of Shastras at once. Upon just remembering or reading a single slok, he had clarified once that he had with him the experience of thousands of years of studying spiritualism during previous births, and that he had with him the knowledge of all the Shastras imbibed within. At a very young age, he compiled the rule book for his disciples, Vachan Saptashati, Satso Mahaniti, a compilation of clear-cut rules encompassing in all 700 points, a sort of constitution for all true seekers. Surprising is the fact that this he prepared in a single day at the age of 20 years. He would name the person just by looking at his forehead. He would also tell the birth date of a person whom he had not met previously anywhere, anytime. He would predict the longevity and lifespan of any person with exact day and date. This too, when the person is very much alive and active. He would even read a person's future as to when the said person is likely to attain lasting peace and liberation, that is moksha. When at Nadiyad, a historic city in the state of Gujarat, India, one day Shreemad had been out and it was evening by the time he came back. He called for a lantern and started writing, while Ambalal Bhai, an ever obedient seeker, stood there holding the lantern in his hand. Shreemad uninterruptedly compiled Atma Siddhi Shastra, comprising 142 stanzas. This was the result of the request by one of his disciples, Sri Sobhag Bhai, who was 44 years elder to him. Atma Siddhi Shastra has power of the spiritual delight by removing the darkness of ignorance and providing the conviction of soul for any true seeker from any corner of the universe without discrimination of caste or creed. He had attained amazing spiritual powers during his lifetime. He led some of them who knew him to realize self-knowledge and some to experience the self. Sri Laghuraj Maharaj or Pujya Prabhuji, the most obedient of the disciples of Shrimad Rajchandra, had been the spiritual guide for thousands of people around, and his guidelines are still equally impertinent for the genuine seeker. Pujya Sri Magan Bapa, who had witnessed and experienced the bhakti of Sri Laghuraj Swami, that is Pujya Prabhuji, as also Pujya Brahmachariji, very closely for over 2 decades, used to tell oftentimes during satsang that if one considers Param Kripaludev less than the Lord, then here is Ashatna, that is conclusion based on misperception and misunderstanding, as it amounts to underestimating this superhuman person. He would emphasize that Param Kripaludev is a horizon one can never ever reach. Today being the auspicious day, Kartik Purnima, this day in the year 1867, November 9th, Hindu Vikram Samant 1924, Param Kripaludev Shrimad Rajchandra arrived to salvage us all and to enlighten our path of spiritualism as real self and never knew, and that suffered eternal pain. O my true Master, Teacher, Lord, I bow to you as you broke my eternal chain of birth and death. What should I offer to you, my Teacher, Lord? All is trifle in comparison of soul, and the soul you only gifted me, and that I will act to your oracle now on. My Master, O my Lord, though in body you are above it all, I bow to you now and again oftentimes. Sajatma Swarup Param Guru.